I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was an amazing poet, and another fig was an amazing editor, and another was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig again was an Olympic lady crew champion. And beyond and above these figs were many others I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting at the crotch of this tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which one of these figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest. And as I sat there, unable to decide, one by one, they began to wrinkle and go black, plopped at the ground at my feet. A quote extracted from Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar. It's a book. You should read it, it's very interesting. So I was 4 when I decided I wanted to become a lawyer. Every career day, I would wear my itchy, uncomfortable lawyer's wig and my white button-up shirt and my black pleated skirts with the black platforms that look like this, and then the lawyer's wig. You can see the picture. Don't mind my brother; he's a funny boy. Okay, so I wanted to be a lawyer when I was 4. I remember a presentation I did in grade 1 where my teacher asked me, Abigail, why do you want to be a lawyer? And I would shout, I want to be a lawyer to fight for justice. And for every career day up until I was 13, I was a lawyer. Have you ever seen a lawyer in science class? Have you seen a lawyer in science class? I don't think there's any, unless you want to study sciences and then come back and study law and then graduate as a lawyer with a science degree. But anyway, I knew you couldn't study sciences and become a lawyer at the time. But after writing my junior secondary certificate exams, that's junior YEC, I found myself wanting to be in that science class. Because, and of course, that any literate person can know that at the time you can't study sciences. And of course, I knew that at the time. But over the course of my holiday, I had developed an interest in something much more intriguing: astrophysics. I was, okay, there's not change there. Astrophysics, Jack. I was enamored by the existence of the universe and the origin of matter, the lives of stars and galaxies, interstellar travel, basically the science you see behind all those sci-fi movies. Yes, that was my interest at the time. And in a developing society like ours, where only basic courses like architecture, medicine, and engineering are considered as proper means of income, I couldn't see any way I would be able to practically nurture this new passion of mine. So I told my parents I wanted to become an architectural engineer. Sounds more respectable, but I mean, if I tell you I'm an architectural engineer, my name is Abigail, you would think, okay, infrastructures, buildings, and roads. But if I tell you, hi, my name is Abigail, I'm an astrophysicist, you're like, astrophysicists, what do those people do? Like I mentioned before, Shad, they do interstellar travel and the lives of stars and galaxies. And I remember I told my father I want to study astrophysics. He was like, Abigail, better study something that will get you a job in Nigeria. Which I'm sure some of you can relate. So I chose architectural engineering. But don't get me wrong, I still wanted to fight for social justice and the rights of the people and, study and be a lawyer, essentially. But then again, I also wanted to become a professional WNBA basketballer, as well as own and model my own brand of knitted and crochet. For some of you who don't know what crochet is on the screen, crochet, I wanted to model and own my own brand of crochet clothes. And then I also wanted to become a particle accelerator, like people that own particle accelerators, a physicist in that quantum energy as well. And then throw my interest in architectural engineering again into the mix. And I guess I would have my own version of Sylvia Plath's Fig Tree. I'll have my version of Sylvia Plath's Fig Tree. Each one of us shuffle numerous passions and interests up until a time comes where we're expected to make a decision, a serious decision, stick to just one, follow through with it, and virtually study it, developing prowess and proficiency in just that one thing. And if you're like me, it isn't all the time that it's the one thing that you're most passionate about. So research shows that 71%, that's a very large percentage of people, over average, 71% of working class Nigerians between the ages of 20 to 35 express regrets in their chosen career path. sorry. Throughout history, we've been inspired by those who dared to defy the status quo to pursue their own. Sorry, that's meant to be 71%, not 70, 711. No, it's not. That's not the number. 71% of people show regrets. But anyway, throughout history, we've been inspired by those who dare to defy the status quo, who dare to pursue their passions despite all the odds, and dare to follow their dreams to the finish. From what's his name? Galileo Galilei, the art teacher who circumnavigated the whole earth. As you can see his picture over there, he's a very distinguished man. He was an art teacher who circumnavigated the whole earth, as in he was saying that at the time the earth was round. But people in his time thought the earth was flat. I mean, the ground at my feet is flat, so why should the earth be round? He was standing by it, and to them it sounded utterly delusive, but he stood by it. To Chimamanda Adichie, the author, I'm sure some of you know her, who actually studied medicine and pharmacy in university, but went on to become one of the most renowned authors of all time. Undoubtedly, every single one of us have our own version of Sylvia Plath's victory. But unlike the eccentric writer, that is Sylvia Plath, we can and we have more opportunities to take more than one bite from each of the figs on our fig tree. And yes, of course, it's painfully clear that I cannot be a professional basketballer and still work for NASA at the same time. But knowing this doesn't stop me from joining a part-time basketball club while expanding my knowledge of the universe through documentaries and videos on Netflix and those kind of things. Yes, and while none of these are going to get me into the WNBA, as I struggle to understand my passions and my values and my interests, one of these are going to become my life's purpose, a career path and a job that I would not regret choosing, unlike, and I won't be part of the 71% of Nigerians, of course. So I wouldn't regret choosing. I was watching a TEDx video the other day, that's Yara Shahidi, on Harvard University alum. She actually graduated from Harvard, Yara Shahidi. She was talking about letting curiosity lead. And there was a quote that she said that stuck with me. She said, "What you do is only a fraction of who you are," meaning it doesn't determine your total value, your worth, and your meaning. But in a society like ours, where the answer to the question, what do you do, determines everything from your social status to how the world sees you, it's easy to feel the need not to entertain any more of one's passions. But as we evolve and transition in response to life's challenges, cultivating self-awareness, mindfulness, and authenticity in everything that we do, we can all take a bite from more than one fig on our fig tree and see the new possibilities we discover. Thank you.